Next on Worcester News tonight, a proposed fare hike for commuter rail riders is receiving a lot of attention from city and state leaders. Plus, Worcester's downtown construction is slowing down business for some. They say it's difficult for customers to get there. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. The cold air has settled in and unfortunately will remain in place for the rest of the work week. Meteorologist Pamela Gardner has more on how cold we can expect it to get tonight and a first look at our local forecast.
Well, good evening to you. Our high temperatures were only in the 20s and in Worcester 24 degrees. A cold midweek forecast for us as we stay well below normal the next several days. And the normal high this time of the year in Worcester 39 degrees, 42 Boston, normal high in Providence 44 and Hartford 43. We stay about 10 to 15 degrees below average and even 20 degrees below normal too overnight and the next several days. Overnight lows should be in the mid 20s. We're going to be in the teens for this evening already with a chance for a flurry. Overnight, a few clouds passing by and 10 degrees for the low with a partly cloudy sky. Tomorrow morning, waking up to temperatures in the low teens, but it's going to feel like below zero as we factor in the wind chill. Wind from the west-northwest, that's going to stay for tomorrow afternoon as high temperatures will be in the upper 20s, but Worcester stuck with 22 degrees thanks to the snowpack, all that energy from the sun going towards some of the melting and sublimation actually. So another chilly day for us, but we'll slowly see a warm up by the end of the week when we could see possibly 40s coming up in your 10-day.
Developing news tonight, a city man is arrested in connection to human remains found in the basement of an apartment building in Worcester. Police say 68-year-old Marcelino Masuese was reported missing last month. Saturday, officers discovered his remains in this home on Penn Avenue. Police say 53-year-old Thomas Guerin was arrested this afternoon in connection to the case. He is facing multiple charges, including disinterment of a body and identity theft. The official ruling on the cause and manner of Masuese's death are pending. Potential fare hikes for MBTA services, including commuter rail trains on the Worcester-Framingham line, are getting a lot of attention. City and state leaders say people rely on public transportation and raising prices might keep them from taking the commuter rail. Our Brittany Schaefer joins us live now from Union Station with more. Brittany?
Olivia, fares would increase by 6%. Therefore, a round trip from Worcester to Boston would be about $25. Representative Jim O'Day says the fare hike is concerning. Representative Jim O'Day is fighting against proposed MBTA fare hikes.
Any idea around a rate hike is very concerning because I think a lot of the ridership will feel a $25 round trip.
For Worcester, there would be a 75-cent increase, raising the price for a trip to Boston from $11.50 to $12.25. The MBTA is holding a meeting Wednesday night at Union Station to discuss the fare hikes. O'Day says originally they were planning on coming to the city.
We have a high ridership, so for them to not have considered coming here was a little bit disturbing to me, so I'm happy that they're coming. Those who take it every day or several days a week, I think it's their voice that we really need to hear tomorrow.
In Boston, city councilors are suggesting withholding money the city pays to the MBTA to reach a compromise. Here in Worcester, councilors say it's important to be able to negotiate.
I'm certainly on board with the idea of let's figure out how to get a seat at the table. And I think that's what it's really about. And, they're talking about withholding funding as a way to be heard. And I think that that's the best way we can represent the folks that we serve.
If you're in a somewhat quasi-public agency like the MBTA is, and you're asking for public money, there should be an opportunity for the public through their elected officials to withhold some of that money.
O'Day says the commuter rail is a necessity in Worcester, and hopefully there can be another solution than raising fares.
Here in Worcester, having a strong commuter rail is imperative to be strong economically. And before they go raising any additional costs to the ridership, that they make sure that they have much greater reliability.
Again, the public hearing will take place here at Union Station at 6:30. O'Day says it's important for riders' voices to be heard. Live at Union Station, Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
New bodyworks regulations in the town of Oxford require spas to be permitted, but as of today, 3 have not done it. The chief told us last week he was waiting on the businesses to get permitted and provide identification. The Board of Health says the regulations are intended to protect the health, safety, and consumer interest of all residents and visitors who utilize these services, as well as the employee or potential victims of human trafficking. The Office of Student Affairs at the College of the Holy Cross calls the tearing down of a poster of African American women, quote, another act of intolerance on the college's campus. In an email sent to student and staff last month, Administrator Michelle Murray says someone tore down an RA's bulletin board celebrating the achievements of African American women. Murray calls it a hateful act. She says the Department of Public Safety is investigating the incident to find those responsible. Work to improve the look of Worcester's Main Street downtown promises to help the area, but the construction and the process of getting around it is causing headaches for local businesses. Our Chandler Walsh joins us live now to explain. Chandler?
Construction just west of City Hall is part of a larger Main Street beautification project. The city says many businesses were excited before work began, but during, they're finding things difficult. Construction lines storefronts on Main Street in Worcester. The work hasn't made its way to Worcester Pizza yet, but owner Brunilda Gramo says she's terrified for when it does.
I'm scared we will lose business because it's kind of difficult for the customer to come inside the store, especially the paths, those narrow paths.
The work is blocking parking spaces as well as direct access to some buildings. It's leaving pedestrians like Tammy Dyer confused.
No offense. I had to go all the way back down where I came from just to cross over to the other street, to now have to go all the way down there to cross back over onto the side.
Philip Nidry is the Special Projects Coordinator for the Worcester City Manager's Office. He says this part of reconstruction is underground work run by the state.
When you do that, you have to tear up the sidewalk. So in order to tear up the sidewalk, you have to have your vehicles, construction vehicles, graders, whatever it may be, in the street.
Nidry says all Main Street work will end in 2020 with new sidewalks, curbstones, and lights. He says the city recognizes the challenges it poses, and he's visited affected businesses to hear concerns.
If you're a small business, you on a daily basis struggle, not even a question. And we're trying to make it as easy as we can.
Gramo says the work needs to be done and she'll appreciate the new sidewalks, but finds it difficult to be patient when it affects business. She says she's heard from neighbors whose businesses have already suffered.
A couple of weeks is okay, but months, it's kind of difficult for us to survive.
Businesses we spoke to say it's difficult to put a dollar amount on how much construction is costing them. Some say they've been down 15%. Another says they've been hit so hard they're considering legal action. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Spencer police and fire responding to an animal through the ice this morning when fire crews got out onto the water where they were unable to find the creature identified by many as a dog. Suddenly, one of the rescuers saw an otter pop up. This is when they realized it was an otter looking for fish. Many people were seeing, not a dog. The chief says regardless of the situation, they will always respond to all calls the same.
Our response is the rescue truck with a group of firefighters who wear cold weather gear. Cold weather suits. They go out with the rescue alive sled to try and make a rescue. There was 4 of them, the 2 on duty personnel and 2 other personnel that arrived, and they went out there. Firefighter Gorham went out onto the ice and determined it was not a dog, but it was an otter that was having a little tasty snack out there in the ice.
And the chief encourages everyone to stay off of the ice because he says you never know how thin it may be. Well, their hibernation is over and black bears are on the hunt. Mass Wildlife says the bears are active and searching for food. They say homeowners should take precautions now to keep bears in the wild and out of neighborhoods. People are encouraged to remove bird feeders and other potential food sources, including garbage or open compost. According to Mass Wildlife, there are about 4,500 black bears in the Bay State, many of which are migrating east. Well, our Roslyn Flaherty joins us now with the story of a new entertainment venue in West Boylston where many can relive their favorite childhood games. And Roslyn, the co-creators call Recess unlike anything else in the area.
Olivia, it has life-size games like Connect 4 and Battleship, and the owners say they wanted to bring something different to Central Massachusetts. All of your childhood games are bigger and in one place. Recess is an adult playground and bar opening in West Boylston.
We took those kind of games, we brought them inside. We figured we'd name it Recess because it was our favorite time in school.
The 20,000 square foot facility has giant versions of Checkers, Connect 4, and Battleship. There's even a mini replica of Fenway Park for wiffle ball and a bar with local beers on tap. Owners Chris Goodney and Chris Clark say they came up with the idea 10 months ago, thinking Central Massachusetts needed something different.
We would go out periodically and let's go to cigar bar, let's go to this bar, let's go to that bar. And it was sort of getting old. So we went out back in April and we said, what if we came up with our own concept? And we had a little bit of an idea from something before, and a few too many beers later and a Keno ticket, and here we are.
They didn't win on the Keno ticket, but did succeed in making their dream a reality.
We found this place, which had the high enough ceilings to be able to pull off the wiffle ball and kickball.
The owners say while Recess is geared more towards adults, young adults will also be welcome. They haven't heard of another place like this and hope it becomes a community favorite.
We're excited about it. We're excited to try it out and see how it sticks, see how it works.
The business will open to the public tomorrow, and they will have a ribbon cutting Thursday at 4 p.m. So, Olivia, definitely a cool place to check out.
It looks like fun. What was your favorite part?
Connect 4, for sure. I'm definitely very good at that game.
Oh, all right. Sounds good. Thank you, Roslyn. Employees of the Nashua Silver Knights confirm owner Drew Weber is in the process of selling the Futures collegiate team to Worcester Bravehearts owner John Creedon Jr. According to the Nashua Telegraph, the team will remain in Nashua. Creedon is hopeful to finalize a 3-year lease extension and concessions contract for Holman Stadium. Creedon is expected to meet with Nashua Mayor Jim Donchess later this week. If all plans go through, he will own 2 teams in the FCBL.